Cindy and
Rosita.
And we are at El Dorado Park. In front of us, we are looking at a beautiful pond, and we have two beautiful ducks swimming right across from us, and they are beautiful. And once again, I will call them brother and dad.
Mm-hmm.
And today's opening quote is from Oprah Winfrey. It's, your emotions are signals to your conscious brain that something is going on that requires your attention and action. That's all they are. Your conscious brain, if you choose to use it, gets to decide how you will respond to them, the emotions. The emotion is the tap on your shoulder, that elbow nudge on your side. What you do about it is absolutely your call. Then she goes on to say, feel the feels, then take the wheel. This is Oprah Winfrey from a book called Build the Life You Want, and it's also co-written with Arthur C. Brooks. And the song for today is Maria la Culandera by Natalia Lafourcade. So, Mom, what did you think about that quote?
Oh, I love it.
Your emotions are signals to your conscious brain that something is going on that requires your attention and actions. That's all they are.
I agree with it because your emotions, what you feel, it is important how you react to them.
But it's not that easy.
No.
Sometimes the emotions overtake and the conscious brain is not aware of what to do. And sometimes we lose a little bit of self-control. Sometimes we're down in the dumps. But to really resonate on this or meditate on this, your emotions are a signal that your conscious brain that something is going on that requires your attention and action. That's all. And it's up to us to decide what we do with this. It's how we react to the emotion that makes a difference. What would that look like?
That looks life itself, because that's when sometimes you have those emotions so strong that it's hard to control them, but you still have that choice. But it's not easy to do that.
I like what you said is you have the choice. And how Oprah puts it, feel the feels and take the wheel. I think that if we are aware that we have the choice to control our emotions and how we react to them, it makes a world of difference. Someone hurts your feelings and makes a disrespectful remark. Someone doesn't return the love you feel for them. The initial response is a hurt, right? A hurt feeling or feeling upset. So if we choose to take action and control of those emotions, if someone's not returning the love back and we want to be in control, what would that look like?
That would be like also, like a battle between you and you, because you're not going. If you choose not to respond, you the only one who dealing with the emotions, and the other party don't not even know that you dealing with them. So sometimes it's good to respond with to the emotions to the person, but also we don't know how the other person will react to our respond to them.
So if we love somebody and that love is not returned, there's a feeling of rejection. How is it that we're supposed to respond to the feeling of rejection, and in turn responding to our own selves, right?
Yes.
We could either be upset and hurt and feel like we're never going to be loved, or it's going to look like and feel like maybe learning how to love ourselves just as we are, maybe returning that love back.
You know, when you deal with rejection, like someone rejects your love, it's not it's hurtful. But you can also look for other ways of love. In the first place, look at the ways that you love yourself so much that you don't want to be hurt. Okay, you want to be heard, but you don't want to be hurt. So in there you had to make a decision that says, okay, if that person doesn't love me, I should accept that and start loving, looking for a way to love myself more.
I love that. I think I saw an example of this yesterday when we were out at Sprouts. You were handing out a tract to a woman, and she simply just said, no, I'm just in a hurry. Your reaction, I was like, okay, thank you, you're welcome. I didn't notice you feeling rejected. I didn't notice you feeling hurt. What feeling did you have when she was like, no, thank you?
Every time I have like a no, like I'm in a hurry, no, I'm not interested. I had those feelings like they rejecting me, and I feel intimidated, and I don't want to do it anymore with another person. But then I think, they're not doing it to me. They doing it for what I given to them.
So they're saying no to the object you're handing out, not you.
Exactly.
So that helps you sort of deal with the emotion of rejection, that it's nothing personal if they're just not willing to accept the tract or the keychain or the bracelet.
Yes, because that way, I said no. They say, no. They had the reasons why. Maybe they just don't want to know anything about it, or maybe just busy, really, or they going through something. So you have to think about the person. If that person is the feelings that she or he has at that moment. Oh, there goes
Brother and Dad again. How
Yeah.
beautiful. Two different ducks. I'm not sure what these are called, but in the pairs, 2x2 all the time.
Yes.
Pair birds.
And then another one's over there. Look.
Oh, I love seeing them in pairs. But what I did notice after we were at Sprouts, it was paid back in tenfold at
yes.
C's Candy. The woman did not know that you would be handing her anything, but when we walked in, she greeted us with this warm, welcoming smile, gave us a sample C's Candy to try, and then as we're paying for our purchase, she gives us more candy. She's all, take the gummies, take the caramels, here's an extra chocolate, and you're like, I pay you back how?
I how you call it? We share now, but we trade. I trade you this for this. So I trade I think it was a car discount.
Oh yeah, she also gave us
A car discount, and
coupon.
okay, I traded for that, and she took it. Oh, thank you.
Yes, yes. Yeah, so that was beautiful. Like to go from one no to like they are giving first. They gave you tenfold. Oh, she gave you tenfold, and then you're like, you know what? Here's their track for you. And I just thought that was amazing.
Yes.
And even when we were at Crate and Barrel, when you gave it to the lady there, she was very welcoming and warm about it too. So that was nice to see. I haven't really been witness to what it looks like when you're handing out your bracelets, keychains, or tracks. I mean, I've seen the bracelets more often than not, and the times that I've been with you, I mean, you're giving people big smiles and a big thank you. And I think what is more appreciated when it comes to the bracelets and the keychains is when you tell your story. And I didn't see you telling your story too often as to how you came about in creating this until last Saturday when we were at Maria's.
Yes.
And do you want to share what you
It's
told
just
them?
something I didn't even have intentions to. But then I saw them in there, and I say, you know what, I'm gonna share them. But I didn't go with intentions of sharing it. But when I gave it to them, then I suddenly feel the urge that says, you know what, this is how I started.
And how did you start your bracelets and your keychains?
I started the bracelets and it was the bracelets first. I started when I came out of the hospital from COVID, which I was 2 months.
About 3 months.
About
No,
yeah.
it's 3 months. You were gone a long time. That was a
2
long
months.
time. No, 3 months, Mama. You left. You left on
January.
December 29th,
Uh-huh.
and you didn't come back till March
15.
15. So that,
16.
Yes, that's to
16.
me. Let's see, December to January, January. That's almost 3 months to me. If I
Yes.
round it up, I guess it felt like a very long time for me
Yeah.
and the whole family. But keep going. Tell us.
So all the time there, I wanted to find a way to give back to Jesus, to the Lord, like do something for Him, because I was so grateful to be alive. And I remember that I told you. Do you remember I told you I was gonna send postcards?
Yes.
But then postcards was gonna send only to the people I know.
And then you said bookmarks too.
And bookmarks, yes, and also, and now and then when we went to one time, you or your brother took me to Michael's, and that's when I say, oh, if I do bracelets and then share, then that's when it came, and then I started giving it away.
But you were in the hospital, and I remember you telling me is when you came out of it. I mean, when you were pulled off the intubation, they called me, with the video phone, so I can see you right away.
Uh-huh.
And you held up 2 numbers. You remember what numbers those were? 2 and 3.
23.
Yeah. So you wanted me to immediately read to you from Psalm 23.
Yes, in Psalm 91.
And it was hard for you to speak at first, but what was clear to me is you said, God has a purpose for me. Mm-hmm. God has a purpose. And I believe in the hospital, someone told you that as well.
Yes, they told me a couple of them, the nurses, when I was moved from one room to the other one, says, oh, Rosa, you have a purpose. I saw you. And really, I just remember calling Jesus, 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 Jesus. Yes, but and it just came out, and I know that a lot of people, like most of the people, receive them with happiness, a smile on their face.
Do you have any specific memory of someone you gave it to and it just stood out to you?
I don't remember at this moment, but most of the time It says, uh, they came out and they say, how do you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the scripture and the verse, when I handle it to them, it means so much for them, and
Yeah.
but I didn't know which one was it.
That reminds me of when we had a yard sale and this woman came and was looking at them, and she said, I don't have money right now. And you're like, no worries, here, these are free, take them. And she's like, how did you know that this is what I needed today?
Yes.
She was looking for something this morning. We don't know
We
what
don't
she
know.
was going through, but she says, this is what I needed, thank you. I think those are just so powerful. And it's not about like, oh, like you would say it yourself. It's not about me. It's not about all glory to me, or it's not about what I did. It's the power of the Lord and the
Yes.
impact He has, and how He uses us as His vessel to pay things forward.
Do you remember the gentleman?
Oh yes.
That was.
I don't know what his
awesome.
story was, because he sure did not know ours. And
No.
he's the gentleman who chose 5 bracelets and gave you a tenfold of cash and said, keep the change.
And I say,
This is for my
"That's
wife who's hurting at home, and I hope this makes her happy.
Yes. And that was. I mean, I was shocked because
He
I
didn't
said,
know
"Take
what you were
him."
going through, and
No.
and this is a very difficult time where you were going to start. You and my brother were going to transition to Santa Maria.
Yes. And we just we had lost your dad, and that was our first yard sale, huh?
Yes, it was very
Yeah.
interesting, very lovely.
But that one really shocked me.
Yeah, I wish I knew what his wife was going through and what he was intending to give her to lift her spirits, and also his daughter, because he mentioned he had a
Yes,
daughter.
mentioned the daughter, but I also remember that he was sitting on it was a pickup, I think, or a van,
Uh-huh.
and he was there for a while until he got out.
Mm.
And I wondered, but I prayed and hoped that everything went well with him, because he did it with all his heart.
Yes. So, Mom, how do you feel the feels and take the wheel?
Now it's easier for me. It's because I think what I have lost, what I've been going through, what I see you going through. It's easier for me to take it and not to take it personally.
Mm.
That's one of the main things that I do. I don't take personally, and I just see the pain at their pain, and I just feel that pain on me, and I just hope at the moment that that pain will go away instantly, and I don't. So I just take the wheel, like Oprah says.
So, do you think you have a better grasp of your feelings and emotions at this point in time, and you're able to control how you react to them? Or do you still feel you sort of hide them and swallow them and not face them?
I still I still have those feelings.
Of hiding them and
hiding them sometimes, but not as much as before.
well, that's an improvement. And like they say, we are changing individuals. We are works in progress, so it's a matter of time. And I think every day, every week, every minute is an opportunity to just learn and grow.
I don't know if I mentioned to you about God's love and mercy. Um, but it came suddenly to me. I was with the Bible study
Mm-hmm.
fellowship, and suddenly it came to my mind that God loved us so much. And then your brother came to me at that moment, and then I say, oh, thank you, Lord, because the God loved him so much that he took him with him, even though it hurts me. But at that moment, I felt that his love was so great because sometimes you can do as a parent, you can do certain things to heal the pain of your children, and I think one of them that's what God did to my son. You know, he took him away. He said, no more pain, no more pain for you.
But my brother was such a warrior, um, because he felt the feels and did take the wheel, but he didn't recognize it. He fought each day. He managed to get himself up, get dressed, go to work, go for fishing, take a walk, take you out on your errands. Even though he was struggling with grief, with depression or anxiety, the strength for a person to get up and face those feelings and still be able to put one foot in front of another was amazing. And I know that there's a bigger story to my brother, and it is amazing that he is in peace right now. But also I want to give him credit for the amazing job he did here on earth, feeling those feels and taking the wheel. Like, he faced them head on, and it scared him. And and I loved the way I loved his vulnerability. When we were sitting in the living room and he'd get into tears, and Cynthia, it's just hard. It's so hard. But that was him opening up and being really vulnerable and honest about, like, these emotions are tough. And I think letting it out and talking about it is one step on how we start learning to take the wheel. As we talk about it, we face it, we own them, and then we start thinking, okay, what do I do next? Do you agree with that? Did you see that in him?
Oh, definitely. I saw him when he was also working, and he was fighting against his emotions to go to work, to face, the feelings that he had at work, and then he'll get up, take a shower, then go to
and
work.
Try again. He didn't give up, and that's
He didn't give up.
I think that's an amazing example of feel the feels and take the wheel. He sure did. And I think we all need to give ourselves credit, because I think in one way or another we feel the feels and then take the wheel, because we're still managing to move forward and get up the next day. Yes. I know that last night was a very difficult evening, and today I chose to, like I told my son, I said every day's a new beginning, and that's what makes a difference. Choose to get up and reflect on the actions of the previous night, and how do I move forward and change them, because if not, you're stuck. And one of the things I want to ask you, Mom, is when you feel the feel and take the wheels, it takes work. Some of the work is meditation. Some of the work is talk therapy. Some of the work is journaling. Some of the work is exercise. Some of the work sometimes is looking, because today's song is Maria la Culandera, and it talks about using nature as your source of healing, from the sun rays to the moonlight, to the eucalyptus, to the peppermint. So I want to challenge us to sort of feel the feels, take the wheel, and ground ourselves. So something that I want to try, because I've seen it done at this park, is remove our shoes and remove our socks and just get grounded with the earth. And I know you don't have to do it because I don't want you to get sick, but how good does it feel just to take off the shoes? It's a little cold, but and it's a little muddy, but how delicious does that feel to just ground your feet in Mother Nature? A little cold.
Actually, it's not that cold for me.
Yeah. How does that feel? I'm noticing something in our toes. What do we need to go do? Get a pedicure. I don't think I've had a pedicure in maybe like a lot of years. Maybe that's something we should look into.
You told me yesterday that you hurt yourself. You hurt your toe.
Oh yes. When you're walking into the bedroom and your toe hits the post of the bed, that happened on my right.
It's not.
And then the computer fell right here on this side. So yeah, I think the universe was trying to tell me, like, wake up, snap out of it,
Snap out of it. Yes.
and get it together. Feel the feels and take the wheel now.
Yeah, because this morning when I took Captain out, he wanted to come out, to come in. Then I opened the door, suddenly, just without knowing that my foot was there, and I hit the one I have ingrown nail. Oh, it feels like
ingrown nails are the worst.
Oh.
Nothing to be proud of, but they are the worst.
No.
As we close out today's talk about conversation broadcast, I get our time that we just take to just ground ourselves even through conversation. I want you to pick one of these cards and then read it.
What's the craziest thing you ever done?
Oh no.
Well, I've been doing a lot of crazy things, but the one I still had the proof is when I took a picture with different hairstyles.
Yeah, those were good pictures.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And you?
Let me read it one more time. What's the craziest thing you've ever done? I think flown to Vegas with. I had enough money. This is in college. I had enough money to pay for the flight, but I barely had enough money over there to feed myself. And then I got back to San Diego, and I barely had money to get a taxi because there was no Ubers back in those days from the airport to the house that I was renting, and then I had to get to work. So I made it on cents back in those days, and I think that was the craziest thing. Like, why?
Mm-hmm.
I would not do that anymore. Like, fly, and it was just a whim, spur of the moment, book a plane on just a little money and make it home to get to work, and then have more money to go to Vegas again. But I think that was the craziest. And this one is: do you look more often for the tragedy in comedy, or the comedy in tragedy? I mean, I want to say looking for the comedy and tragedy, and that's hard to say, because if I think about the tragic events that have, there's so many tragic events all over the world, and for us, to say that I want to see comedy in that, I feel like I'm laughing at it, but I'm not laughing at it. It's just that you want to lighten the heart so bad, so you don't break down. I don't know. And to be fixated on the tragedy and comedy.
That's a tough one, eh?
Look at the tragedy and comedy. I mean, I guess the easiest answer would be, let me look at tragedy and comedy, because I think about comics on on stage, and they're making their jokes. And I want to see the tragedy in that. I'm like, okay, well, maybe they forget their joke. But I guess the challenge would be is, how do you find comedy in tragedy and not dishonor what's going on, or not disregard the tragedy that's going on? I don't know. That's a hard one to answer.
Well, it came out to me like, you know, the cartoons, Tom and Jerry.
Yes. Oh.
Huh?
Yes.
There's a lot of tragedy in there. Because
And then you're laughing.
and then you're laughing. You know, you found, you know, like, you know, the cat fell and you know.
He gets hit by a pan, and he still keeps running.
Yeah.
Or was it the wild coyote guy who's the one that always gets like blown up or something?
Yes, the road runner. I mean,
Oh, the Roadrunner. Yes.
the
yeah.
road runner.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah. Well, we're at the end of our beautiful conversation, Mama. I appreciate this time so much. Let's see where next week takes us. And once again, we're at El Dorado Park in Long Beach, in front of a beautiful, beautiful pond. 2 ducks before us. We're grounding ourselves. We're not going to walk barefoot. Some people do take that challenge here, but we are just have our shoes off, socks off, and just enjoying this beautiful nature. And my mom's going to close out with the first reading.
I will go to Psalm 17. Hear, O Lord, my righteous plea. Listen to my cry. Give ear to my prayer. It does not rise from deceitful lips. May my vindication come from you. May your eyes see what is right.
Amen. And we hope that you enjoyed this and maybe can listen to Maria la Culandera by Natalia Lumfracada. And remember, like Oprah said, feel the feels, then take the wheel.